Be a short video to go over all of the achievements that I think I've met with this VR experience. I've met our scale, animation, video player, locomotion, physics, gamification, AI, and speech recognition. So we'll start with scale. So if you look at my scene in Unity, actually a lot of these would be easier for me to explain in game. So when I come into my experience and I stand up, you can actually see, there's this giant house in front of me, and then there's this small dog. I'm about the size of the fence, so you kind of get the sense that, you're a normal person-sized entity in this VR experience. And that would basically equate to the scale achievement. Next is animation. So you can see the dog he's over there wagging his tail, just chilling. So I didn't actually make the animations in like a tool like Blender. I actually got an asset pack with the dog model and the animations. But in Unity itself, I actually wired together all of the different animation states and wrote code to be able to trigger those states when I needed them. And I'll go over that later. So next would be the video player. So actually, if we go back to the house, sorry, this is all kind of weird because I'm not in my camera sensors, but you can see there's actually a video playing in this window. This girl sitting on her bed, you can see the fan moving. So that uses the video player. So with that, it meets the video player achievement. Next would be locomotion. So actually on my way over here, you already saw that, where I am actually teleporting, and you see my teleport marker, and you can see me teleport to the location that I chose. So that's the locomotion achievement. Next would be physics. So actually, if we come over here, okay, cool. So if I pick up this ball and I toss it, you can see gravity actually brings it down and it collides with the ground. It doesn't go through the ground, which is nice. And right on cue, you can see our dog went out and fetched the ball. So that is all of the dog's movement is controlled through the Unity nav mesh. And so that would meet the AI requirement. The fact that it can navigate around as I move and as it needs to go fetch. Next up would be AI. Not AI, sorry. We did AI. Next up would be gamification. So you can see that above the dog there's this heart and this meter. This meter is like the love meter, and basically the idea in the game is to get the love meter to full. So I'm actually going to short circuit this a bit and just pet the dog a bunch of times, and once it's full, you can see, the dog is now celebrating that we've met our goal of the game. So that's the gamification achievement. So in order to do the last one, which would be speech recognition, I actually need to pop out and pop back in. Okay. Speech recognition. So if I come over to my dog, he'll actually recognize commands that I give him. So if I say sit, he'll sit, and he'll do the sit animation, which is pretty cool. Alright, last thing, let's just take a quick peek at how I'm handling the animations, and then this should be it for the video. Now that we're back in Unity, let's go and look at the dog animation controller. So we can see there's all these different animation states. And so on each of these states, I have the actual motion, which came from, the Unity asset store, but I handle all of these transitions using parameters like if the dog is walking or speaking, is sitting, etc. All of these states are controlled through code. So if I switch over to Visual Studio, I have this dog controller, and in the dog controller, I have all of these various methods that correlate to voice commands. So earlier I said sit. So we have a sit function. When I say sit, sit gets called, and what happens is basically it calls a switch animation function. So this switch animation function, if we scroll down here, will actually find out which Boolean parameter maps to the existing animation and set that to false. So that way the dog will actually transition back to the idle state, and then after that it will set the animation that we want to occur to true. So then once the dog's in the idle state, he will transition to, say, the sitting animation.